The first BSC challenge of the year is just around the corner, and in this video I wanted to share with you the comps that I will use in the challenge so that you can win it too. Winning is not so hard, so I'm not going to give you insane strategies, I'm going to keep it short and simple. I don't really want to waste much of your time, so having said that, let's begin. The first map is going to be Junkrat, Hard Rock Mine, personally one of my favorites. And the comp that I'm going to give you is Rico, Gaz, and Stu. Gaz is in my opinion one of the best mids right now, so make sure to abuse his insane power. If you can't play with some friends and you have to go random, I suggest you picking a mid so that you can carry the gems. So again, Gas is what I would go for, but you can also pick Jean or Penny and even 8-bit. Playing with the randoms is never a good choice. So my advice is to play with a team if you want to bring home the 15 star drops and the possibility to play esports in February. Alright, so before going to the next map, I'm gonna give you a second comp if you don't like the first one or if you think Stu is too skilled for you or your friends. Here's the comp I recommend you playing, which is Penny mid and Tara and Surge on the lanes. This one is a bit more exotic, so for the casual players, in my opinion, is still a very good comp. But play it only if you don't like the first one. Alright, so second map is gonna be Brawl, Triple Dribble. And here I really suggest you going for the skilled comp with Maisie, Stu, and Otis. One of the most underrated brawlers in the game, in my opinion. And for the less skilled comp, I would go with Larry Laurie or Juju, Amber, and Daryl. So again, the comps are both good, but I prefer the first one. Also, if you want, you can play Amber, Stu, and Otis, if you think it's better. Because at the end of the day, you have to play the brawlers you know how to play the most. I can give you the best comps in the world, but if you're really good at playing one particular brawler, and I didn't mention it in the comps, if it is not completely out of the meta, you can definitely go for it. Again, if you have to play with the randoms, make sure to go either with your main, for example, I didn't mention Rico, but if you're a main Rico, you should be going for it. And then we have brawlers like Juju, Max, Lou, and even Mortis, if you are a good Mortis. Okay, so next up we got Heist, Safe Zone, a classic I would say, very basic map. Here you definitely gotta pick Chuck and Melody. I know Melody is very skilled, so if you want to play with the randoms, go for Chuck, that is much easier to play. And to complete the trio, you can go with Colt, Angelo, Eve as well, Harper is very good, but you can also pick Colette and Penny. These brawlers are all very good. But in my opinion, since I know how to play Colt, I would say it's the best choice you can make. Again, if you don't know how to play Colt, since it is a pretty skilled brawler, you can choose between the others that I mentioned, but I really think Chuck and Melody have to be picked. Okay, so for Hot Zone, which is the fourth mode you have to play, I really recommend you playing Stu, Penny, and Gray. I know the comp is kinda exotic, but I think it works really well. Otherwise, the general most used comp is Lou, Amber, and Stu, which is again very strong, but they're both kinda skilled. So I'm gonna give you a third one. You can also go for Barry, Daryl, and Penny, or even something like Sandy and Jesse. Again, many picks that you can do, and if I were you, I would stick to the brawlers that I like the most. So if I mentioned to you something familiar, some of your favorite brawlers, don't overthink about it and build a comp over that. Now, for the people with no team, I recommend you picking Penny, Jesse, Amber, or even Juju. Trust your gut and go for the ones that you like the most. Lastly, we have Knockout. I'm gonna be honest with you, this map might actually drain some of your losses. I would not be surprised if that happened, as this map, like many Knockout maps, is very skilled. So the best comp, in my opinion, is Gus, Jean, and Sprout. This is because Sprout is the best thrower in this map, and the only thing that could be a problem for him is Gray, Miko, Jean, and sometimes even Mortis, because people pick Mortis also in Knockout. So Gus is there to give the shield to Sprout when one of these brawlers goes for him. So you have to be very careful with the comp, because it is a little risky. If you don't want to go for a thrower, I can suggest you pick him Gray, Jean, and Belle, with Jean in the mid. This is a much safer comp that could be your choice, but Gray really has to carry. So for the casual players, the easiest comp you can play is Daryl, Kid, and Byron, or a Jean, which is the least skilled one, but I don't really recommend going for this. Go for it only if you are too scared to play the skilled comps. Lastly, I'm gonna give you one last comp for this map, as it is the last one and the hardest. So the comp is Manny, Brock, and Jean, which really plays on the open map. So the idea behind it is simply to open up these two walls right here and take advantage of Mandy's candies and Jean's range. But again, the Manny has to play very well. If you're going to play without a skilled Manny in the team, go for another comp. So the very last thing that I'm going to tell you is, for the people playing with the randoms, the best pick you can do is probably Gray, but only if you're skilled with him. Jean, if you want to play safe, and Rico in the mid if you play him well. Otherwise, Gus and Bell are two very good picks. Remember that you can lose up to 3 games, so don't stress out if you lose one game at the beginning. Keep you and your teammates calm as much as possible, and if possible, try to play while on call, so that you can coordinate better. Try to save your losses for Odds and Knockout, because these two modes right here are the most skilled and the most advanced. So only good players will be able to get here, qualify for the monthly qualifier, and unlock the eSport button. Having said all of this, I wish you really good luck with the challenge. And as always, thanks for watching.